Alright, we're going to ignore the timer because half the time if I let the music play too long, the VOD gets muted unnecessarily. Hello, friends! Welcome in, welcome back to Elden Ring. I've been playing a little bit more of this between streams because, of course, the DLC came out, and I'm not going to be talking too much about the DLC. We're not going to be playing any of the DLC. Today we are here for one thing and one thing only, and that is to finish the Albinauric Bow run, hopefully. So, in the last stream, we got as far as having beaten Gideon, so now we just have the Godfrey / Hoarah Loux fight, Radagon, and Elden Beast. But I'm going to be trying to do these with a bow, and with Latenna the Albinauric as a summon. And hopefully that's going to go okay for us. We will see. If we somehow get through this and I have a little bit of time, we might cheekily start the Albinauric staff playthrough, because I know how the setup for that is going to go, and it's going to be quite fun. But in between that, we have to do a lot of boss fighting, so let's do that. I also have to go by probably like 5. It is 2 in the UK right now, so I've got about a 3-hour stream. And I think the D&D stream that we're going to do with 8-Bit Community today is going to be starting at 6 for me, but just in case we decide to start it earlier because we haven't quite set the timetable in stone yet, I may end up having to end the stream slightly earlier. So hopefully we manage to get through it. In the meantime, let us start some Elden Ring. And I need to go away from my Barefist Steve character because that's the guy I'm playing the DLC with. We are back with Jessica Albinauric. Boss fights with Jessica, I know. Jessica! So, Lanedale, Ashen Capital. We have the Naginata because, I don't know, I got it out for the emotes. Because now when you sign in with a new character, you get the emote for having pre-ordered the DLC. So we now have Ring of Mikola, which causes you to do this, which is pretty funny. So this is the end of the game. For anybody who has not seen this before, we are just about to go through and fight the final little group of bosses. I do not know how this is going to go. I remember getting pretty familiar with these bosses on the last playthrough, but we'll see how all of this shakes out. Last time I didn't rely too heavily on summons until Elden Beast, so we'll see how that part goes. Feel like a bow will be tough? Probably. I am slightly concerned about this. But in between streams, I have done a little bit more with Jessica. I was waiting for the DLC to drop on Thursday night, so I did a little bit more. I went and crafted a few more arrows, so we don't have many crafting resources left for those, but I do have a decent stock of bleed arrows now. We're going into this fight, I think, with poison and then probably with regular arrows, and we might swap to rot arrows later. I don't think any of the others will really be that good. And then for Radagon, I think rot is going to be okay. Neither of those bosses are particularly vulnerable to bleed. I think maybe fire is a good thing for Radagon as well. I forget what the status resistances are, but we're going to have to get familiar with that, I suppose. Spelling a P with your body from the back. Yes, Ring of Mikola, as aka P for pixel riffs. So yeah, we're gonna try and fight Godfrey. I'll be excited if we get to phase 2, but I've got a couple of decent skills on here. We have Rain of Arrows on the bow right now, so that should be okay. I'm also probably going to change the camera position from the next set of streams onwards, so the camera is going to be on the right-hand side, which I normally don't do because the text coming out from left to right means that sometimes people's names would get cut off, but I think it's better to have it over there than it is over here, where you probably want to look at the left-hand side of the screen because that's where all of the important stats are, and also it covers up the fact that I've got my weapon skill is kind of underneath where the camera is, so we might do that next time. Anyway, I'm stalling. Let's go in and fight Godfrey. Isn't Radabeast immune to every status effect? I think the Beast is. I think Radagon isn't. I could be wrong about that, but it might be that, like, fire arrows do more damage or something. I think it's something along those lines. We'll watch the cutscene once. We'll probably end up having to skip it after this.
A long while, Morgoth.
Yeah, Radagon is weak to fire. Yeah. We're going to have to do a little bit of FP management here if we end up summoning Latenna as well.
And hard didst thou fight? Tarnished warrior, spurned by the grace of gold.
Yeah, he has high resistances to effects. He's immune to bleed. Yeah, I know the last two are definitely immune to bleed.
Be assured, the Elden Ring,
because my first ever build was kind of
resteth close at hand.
not bleed dependent, but bleed was a factor, which as a Moonveil user, I was like, I'm gonna rely on this a little bit, and then it was basically just magic damage after that. But my original character, my original character is statted out like trash compared to some of these. Like, I'm so min-maxed on these characters.
To be granted audience once more.
Have I been playing the DLC yet? Yes.
Upon my name as Godfrey, the first Elden Lord.
More about that in a second, though. Right now, I've got to focus up. Oh yeah, gotta remember to roll towards him for some of these. Yeah, there we go. The main concern I have with these is doing the fight so much that I end up running out of arrows, at which point we'll have to go and farm cash to buy some more. But yeah, let me get in the rhythm of it. Let me find the rhythm. I haven't done these fights so much that I feel like I'm just gonna breeze through it and dodge every attack. And I've been playing the DLC, so the rhythm has been slightly different. I also have my flask, which I forget what this flask even has on it. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So we should probably use that mid-fight, if anything. Let's open with Rain of Arrows so we can maybe get some poison started. Because he's just going to walk towards me menacingly up until that point. Okay, he's poisoned. Great. Okay, this is the steppy follow-up. And now I can Rain of Arrows from here, but then he moves too fast. Okay. Learning the timing is the most important part of this for me. And of course I've run out of FP, so... Yes, I remember. Yeah. Okay. Can't really create space very easily. You kind of have to handle this fight like a melee fighter and roll behind him. And then maybe you could create space from there, but, like, you can't really roll back to take a clean shot. My problem is every time you roll behind him like that, your character ends up facing a different direction, and the targeting lock-on doesn't always auto-correct for you so that you fire the arrow the right way, which can be really rough to deal with. I'm not going to bother summoning Latenna until second phase, because I feel like she's just going to get crushed beforehand, and then I don't have her as a distraction for Hoarah Loux. And when he's walking like this... Okay, we have poison already. That's good. Yeah, see, even if I jump that, First time that's ever hit me, I think. Oh yeah, here we go. He stands still for a while after that one, so that's a good chance to get in some AoE, but... Now I'm dead. Oh. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. For some reason, like, I just wasn't... I wasn't buffering heals. So yeah, I don't think there's too much else we can do about my setup. Just make sure that we have everything we need up until this point. Rot will do slightly more damage, but I think Rot for second phase will be better. He's also not getting hit by as many of these as he walks. Yeah, okay. Yes, I have played maybe like 2.5, maybe 3 hours of the DLC. And it's going pretty well for me so far. I've got up to one of the major bosses. I think I might be doing stuff slightly out of the sequence you're supposed to, but then it is fairly free roaming, so... I've fought a few bosses successfully. But yeah, the boss of, like, the dungeon area that I'm currently at is a little bit above my, my current skill level. Okay, none of those hit him. This is the frustrating part with having to have a longbow style bow, is that I can't have barrage. So I can't, like, build up status super quickly at close range. And Rain of Arrows isn't reliable enough to hit him at long range while he's moving. Okay, we can heal here. I think jumping that more is going to be a better strategy for me than rolling through it. Yeah. No idea what the sequence is supposed to be. I've just gone all over the place. I think I base it on, like, where the NPCs are. If they're kind of, like, leading you in a specific direction. And one of them says, hey, here's a way you could go. And gives you, like, a map that leads to a couple of different places. That's something that happens quite early on. Do not envy you using bow on this fight? Yeah. Yeah, it's a little rough. I might... The thing about using Rot is that I have a very limited number of arrows, and I can't craft more because the amount of these you can acquire in the game is limited. So I'm sticking with Poison for now, but it's a little less effective than Rot would be. Okay, he's poisoned at least. Yep. I ended up square in the middle of that when I didn't expect to be. He lunges so far with that. It is way faster getting melee hits in after that attack than it is getting bow hits in, let me tell you. Oh, now I forget that you have to... basically jump shot every time he does a stomp. Surprised I didn't get hit by that. Okay, now we get second phase. Now we run away from him. Summon Latena. Oh, I can't. I can't. I don't have enough FP for this. Well done. Okay, if he'll let me have a moment's peace. Well. Basically rendered the health flask that I had ultimately pointless. Yeah, okay. I didn't think that was going to manage. And then Latena's going to get absolutely stomped, but, you know. He gets weaker when he loses his axe in a literal lion. The other way around? Yeah. Yeah, no, he, the lion and the axe are, like, nerfing him. Weirdly. I could have gone better, yes. I think I need to be a little bit more aware of my FP level going into second phase. Like, if I've been using Rain of Arrows on him before this. Like, I need to make sure that I have enough FP still to summon Latena. Because I think the best opening to do that is at the beginning of the fight when he always does one attack. One attack in particular that he, like, opens with. Gotta stop rolling backwards out of that one. Ah. That one wasn't going so well anyway. Always found it strange that the lion and the axe nerf him. I know. It's so weird. Like, lore-wise, it only half makes sense. Okay, that time we got a decent couple of hits on him. Okay, now he's poisoned. Can we get Rain of Arrows off after that attack? We can, reasonably well. Which is good, because he's going to do it twice. He's so covered in arrows, it's incredible. I don't think he even did that attack last time. This one's good for Rain of Arrows too, but he also gets out of it way faster than I remember. Okay, got hit that time, not a big deal. Okay, that's good, that's good. Now we run back, summon Latenna. Manage to get away from that attack somehow. Latenna tanks for us. We switch to Rot Arrows. Literally couldn't get away from that. I think I goofed on my menuing a little bit as well, but having Latenna in the room is dealing pretty decent damage. Now she dies because of AoEs. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think that strat would work pretty well. I botched the execution slightly, but I think we should be okay. Okay, couple of hits there. Okay, we got the poison. That'll be the last arrow I can fire, probably. No, wrong way. This hasn't started well. Yeah. Is Latenna fully upgraded? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we have a problem mostly just with the bow being kind of slow to use. I think that's my main issue, is that, like, the character I play with most of the time when I'm playing casually is a very fast attacker. It's like fist weapons, so the combo is super fast. I'm just not used to the timing window with the bow. Okay, we've got a couple extras in there. That's poison. No idea what happened there. Making all the same mistakes again that I thought I'd learned from last time. Should be using this moment to do Rain of Arrows, but instead I'm going to heal twice. Tried to get my FP back. That was a mistake. Okay, steppy follow-up. Nice. Okay, well. Avoided the grab. Happier with that. Oh, got kicked. Oh, I lost my lock on. The sweep kick. He got me with the sweep. It's been a while. Godfrey's your favorite boss because he's being so polite while he's punching you to death, pretty much, yeah. Okay. I feel like I lose a little bit of the time I could be spending switching to the rot arrows. I could be spending, like, hitting him. Fairly comfortable getting to phase 2 now. Again, no idea what happened there. Okay, he's got too much range for that. Also got to remember that I can't jump evade that one when I'm, like, right next to him. Okay. Yeah, we got most of the way there, but I wasn't quite... I was too busy thinking about the setup for the next phase and how I didn't have enough FP to summon Latenna, and my focus kind of dropped there. We'll deal. Keeping it light and fresh. Despair ahead, don't give up. Do a quick arrow stock check. We're good. We'll be good for a while, I think. The cool thing about Rain of Arrows is it looks like it's a lot of arrows, but all it takes is one. Okay, we got maybe 3 or 4 hits in there, it looks like. I think poison just procs. Yeah. I'm too close, I'm too close. Did alright. Okay, doing well this time. That's not going to land. I said I was doing well, so of course I instantly had to follow up by doing badly. Okay, I'm going to take this one to heal if I can. Why am I crouching? Heal's completely wasted. I thought we were going to get him to second phase there and I was going to avoid that sequence, but... Nope, instead we get second phase when I have like 0 health left. Gonna heal through this. Summon Latenna. Nope, don't have enough FP for it. She's in the middle of the arena, which is not going to be worth doing, but... Don't know if he's going to get poisoned from this, but we'll at least try. Okay, he is now poisoned. Yeah, didn't get away in time. Spent too much time rolling, not enough time running. Yeah, if you hit an ace, you double fault immediately afterwards. That sounds about right. Yeah, so he can get poisoned in second phase, so the serpent arrows can stay, at least for now. I still don't think there's any real point to summoning Latenna for the first half of the fight because he has way too many AoEs. And Latenna's just a useful distraction for us when the fight begins. Second phase, and we can at least spend the time healing, flasking up, maybe switch to some other arrows if I get better at that. Okay, reacted to that better than I expected to. Okay, good. Don't have enough FP for Latenna now. Dang it. Okay, cool. Good. Heal after that. Latenna after this. Okay, Latenna's got his attention. Not for long, obviously, because she's immediately dead. Ah. Timed that all wrong. Okay, at least I didn't get completely destroyed, and I have time to heal from this one. But no time to avoid this one. Nope. It happens in, like, rings around him, and that's so annoying because you react to the first one, you get hit by the second one. I gotta, like, roll towards him instead of away from him, which feels so counterintuitive. That's how they get you. The strategy is getting us to Phase 2, though. I think there's just a lot of setup in Phase 2 that I'm worried about. Instead of focusing on maybe what I should be doing, avoiding attacks, focusing on what I can do, not finding the right opening to summon Latenna, like I feel too unprepared. Nice of him to just tank arrows for that bit. Got a decent headshot in there, I think. So here's where the steppies start to do AoEs every time. Got to make sure I don't run out of stamina during these. I goofed that one. That was entirely on me. Oh, don't know how I survived that one. But we did it. Latenna. Okay, Latenna's immediately taking a ton of damage, but what can we do? Thought I rolled that. Turns out I didn't. Again, I don't have enough practice at the second phase yet with the bow. Gonna not open with Rain of Arrows this time. And interestingly, he didn't open with the same set of attacks, so I'm kind of thrown. That's the one I was waiting for him to do. Oh, forgot to roll after the second swing. For some reason, after the jump shot, after avoiding that, I just didn't have the right roll timing. The arrows falling directly on his head is great. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that too. It is like a dance, yeah. It's like wrestling. It's like professional wrestling, especially the second phase. Timed the rolls badly then. Okay, I'm going to heal after this one. I don't think he's done that attack the entire fight. That one was the correct set of timings. Okay, new strategy. Get the Physic Flask done before we transition to the next phase. Ideally, get the FP restored as well. Summon Latenna immediately. Get Power Bond. Barely deals me any damage. Latenna distracts. She doesn't take as much damage. She dies near instantly still. Okay, he's poisoned at least. Messed up the timing on that one, but at least he's really far away, so I get a chance to heal. Respond with a jump shot. Getting there, getting there. He's done. Okay. That felt good, that felt good. Yeah. Legend fell, baby. Okay, can say we've done that now. And I'll take that as bow only because Latenna did basically nothing. She managed to distract him at a crucial moment, but man, that's a tough fight. Dex is going to get us an additional point of damage. Vigor gets us an additional point of health. Strength gets us an additional point of physical defense. We're gonna have a lot of, we need a lot of like holy defense, which is a problem because I've not leveled arcane like at all, but we could put a point into arcane and get 2 additional holy defense. We're definitely going to be able to level up twice if I crush this. I might need a touch more, but that should be fine. So we'll put a point into Dex for the damage. Yeah, we need 4,000 more. We've got enough golden runes for that. And we get an additional point of holy if I put a point into anything now anyway. I feel like 20 extra health is not going to get us a whole bunch, but the extra strength is going to give us defense across the board, which I kind of like. And now we have 518 runes left. We can go into this with arrows, with fire arrows. I do have fire bone arrows as well, which don't do as much, but do, you know, fire damage. I might as well use them up for the moment. We also have our Great Rune, so we can activate a Rune Arc now if we want to. I think maybe we change the Physic tier to something that isn't just HP. Flame Shrouding, maybe. And Bubble tier, and then we can basically go in dealing a ton of damage to Radagon. And I'm less worried about Elden Beast. Although I probably should be. I feel like Elden Beast is going to be much more susceptible to Rain of Arrows. So I think we start this way, we go in, we see what's up. Because the thing about Radagon is that we basically have to counter all of his attacks because he parries and blocks arrows. So we have to play like that. And now I have to remember how to time all of the dodges. Dang it. Okay, we didn't get the grabbed at least, but... Godfrey's Great Rune doing... Or Godric's Great Rune, rather, doing basically nothing for us here, but that's okay. Alright. Gotta remember the timing on this is so much slower than I'm used to. Of how the arrows stick in him? Yeah. Okay, so no more Great Rune, no need for it. I'm wondering if Latena's going to be a worthwhile distraction. She's probably just going to get stomped pretty quickly, but if I try and keep aggro, I wonder if that will be enough. Yes, you can use Torrent on Elden Beast now. I'm not very good at horseback archery, though. So mostly it's going to be about, like, wearing it down. Honestly, having Latena in this phase is not a bad thing, but... yeah, she's now dead. Also, my Flame Shrouding tier lasts 3 seconds. So this one is really going to be a long fight, I think, which is annoying. It's annoying especially because long fights are going to give me so many more windows to mess up. Like that, for example. I've got to read whether or not he goes into a combo for stuff like that. Sometimes he just swings past you, and I think if he like overshoots you by a certain range. Yeah. I can't even get a jump shot in and still roll out of that. Okay, that's fair. I think I want to switch these arrows to R1 just because it's a little easier to fire. His other resistances are pretty high, so I won't bother using the rot ones. What did I... That's what I meant to do. Set it up with the first time around. I also just drank one of my flasks unnecessarily, so I'm going back to the Grace. I need every health flask I can get. Yeah, we've got to learn the steps. We've got a couple of hours for this one. Honestly, I've seen entire streams just be fighting Radagon and Elden Beast and still not winning, so prepare ourselves for that. Are we doing the DLC with the bow? No. So often after he parries, he follows up with one of those projectiles. That basically is his parry. Missed that one. That's the one we need to be shooting after. Yep, fair. Got me fair and square that time. Literally just steps on my toe and I die. No, I'm doing the DLC with my my other character. My Bare Fist Steve character. There is some important stuff about how we're going to handle the DLC for this challenge, though. Which we'll maybe get into once we're on to the next character, but I don't want to get into it right now. Okay, I took a bit of damage from that. Yeah. Okay, so Latenna can get in here and do a fair amount of damage if I spawn her in at the start and then I try and bait him myself. What's the first DLC weapon that starts with A? That is what we need to discuss. But again, we'll do that after this. Presumably if I am able to win. If not, we'll talk about it at the end of the stream. Pincushion, dude. Where was that going? Where did he throw that? Oh, now the problem is I can't even hit him from over here. And Latenna's taking all the punishment. Well. That looked like it was going pretty well for a minute there. Just in terms of having Latenna around to draw aggro, I think we did okay for an opener. And this time we got grabbed. Yeah, him turning mid-attack is great. I love that. I love it when he does that. Just throws a lightning bolt over there because he doesn't like the inside of the tree. I'm like, you chose to be here, mate. First things first, this guy, yes. This guy, this heckin' guy. Keeping an eye on my arrow count here. We can go and buy more fire arrows, I think, from one of the merchants in Caelid, so. Somebody over there dying, I'm like, okay. Oh. Yeah, I kind of goofed the flask there as well. He seems to do 2 of those if you're further away as well. I guess because it's a little easier for you to dodge if you're further away. That one, I think you have to roll as he lands, which is really difficult because when he's coming down, it looks like he's going to hit you, but he's actually hitting the ground. It's really annoying. R.I.P. Latena. That one wasn't even anywhere near me. It's like he's trying to put up a tent and it's all gone wrong. I just need to keep baiting out that attack. If I can, because that one's easier to counter. Now the teleporting has started. Ow, okay, I just walked into that one. See, this is doable because literally every attack has a counter. You just have to play perfectly. And ideally avoid taking hits like that. And then see through all of the no-verb effects he's creating. Okay. How many weapons have I beaten the game with? In total, 5 or 6. In this case, in the case of this challenge, we've done Alabaster Lord's Sword, Academy Glintstone Staff, and then this is our 3rd playthrough, I want to say. Yeah. I mean, it's in the title. A3, as in letter A, number 3. But I've obviously beaten the game with a couple of other characters before this. Okay, got baited that time. He's got like compass point arrows. He knows exactly which way north is. Now they're all sticking out of one armpit, which looks really uncomfortable. See him putting up the arm to guard there? Come on, buddy. Okay, yeah, he got me that time too. What I have to do every time he does that big swing is create some distance. And wait for the follow-up before I start my jump shot. There you go. Because if he doesn't follow up, then it's easy to get an easy hit, but sometimes he follows up. If he's not following up by that point, then we fire. He's just got so many of those for me. There we go. Alright, big fella, we can do this all day. Ow. Okay. Probably deserved that one. That's the problem, you see. I can get that far in, but then he can two-shot me. Is this the final fight? This is part 1 of the final fight. Basically, you go from this directly into a second boss fight. The second boss fight has some very different things going on. What time is it? Okay, cool. Yeah, it looks like I will be ending by 5 my time, so... Here's hoping we win before that. Okay, he can just follow up now. I'll have a drink. And that one I need to roll towards him, which is more difficult. And that one's just too fast for my old man reflexes. I think he's raising his hand to block there, even though he couldn't because of the angle I was firing at. Whenever you're ready, big man. We traded a little bit there. I got one at the end there. Yeah, there we go. I knew that a little light attack was coming somewhere. Still, we're getting better. Is bare fist fighting a thing in Elden Ring? So there are fist weapons, which I guess technically aren't bare fists because you have some sort of gloves or there's like a hand spike kind of situation in a couple of them. But then if you can completely unequip all of your stuff and then you just like throw a punch. Like if I do this, I'm like throwing a punch like this, which has a pretty similar move set to the fist weapons, except it does so little damage. I imagine people have beat the game that way because people are wild and have way too much patience, but is this considered one of the harder bosses? This is the second to last boss of the game, so yes. And I'm making it look more difficult than it is because I'm not using melee weapons. For one thing. Okay, he didn't wind up for that nearly as long as he normally does. That time, I managed to roll behind him and it worked out okay. And then he followed up. I think there's also new weapons in the DLC that like martial arts. Yes, yeah. I haven't encountered any of those yet, but yeah, there are hand-to-hand art weapons. Okay, Navjot Singh, you're approaching a full sentence. Try putting a few more words in there. Okay, yeah, deserved that one. Am I wrong to think the bow will be better on the final boss because the boss tends to move away from you? In theory, yes. In theory, yes. Am I fighting Millennia 2? No. No, the goal with each of these is to beat the game, and usually I'm taking, if not the quickest path to that, then at least I'm not doing a lot of the optional side stuff. With the main reason being, sooner or later, if I'm playing through with every weapon in the game, I will have to go and do the optional stuff anyway, because a lot of it has weapons as a reward. So like when we eventually have to do the Hand of Millennia playthrough where I beat the game with that weapon, we're going to need to fight Millennia in order to even acquire it. But until then, I don't see the point in putting myself through that, primarily because it's just going to make every playthrough that much longer. Same with doing all of the DLC stuff. It's like, yeah, it'd be fun to go and experience the game in full every time, but that would take so much longer than this is already going to take. I'm not sure if I would have taken more damage if he hit me with the hammer. That was a bad roll. Yeah. Only doing 2 shard bearers every playthrough? It totally depends. On this one we did... I mean, you can't do 2 shard bearers because, like... Morgott's a shard bearer, you know? But then in this one we did Godric and Rykard. And you sometimes need to go and do other stuff. Like, we went back and did Renala anyway because I needed to respec. But Renala wasn't originally part of my plan. On the first character I did... We were doing like a staff playthrough, so I was like, Renala's going to be a difficult fight. But I still wanted to fight her later so I would have access to some of that stuff, and just to see if it was possible to fight her and how difficult it was later. So like there's sometimes I'm giving myself little optional things. One of these runs might end up being like all bosses or all remembrance bosses or something, but obviously that's if we ever get that far. You just want to know about my upcoming Minecraft videos on YouTube? Ask then. Don't just say Minecraft video. Ask me what you want to know. Like, I'm not just gonna dispense information. Like, I don't know if it's relevant to what you want to know about it. There's a way to skip into Lanedale from tower and return. I mean, yeah, like, I don't plan on doing any of these runs like the glitchy way. Storage build. Again, that's not a question. Just wanted to get one point-blank shot off there. Literally 1 HP. How are we doing for arrows? 395. Still not bad, but not great either. I just wish this guy was bigger so I could do Rain of Arrows and it would actually do damage. See, that does the damage of one normal arrow. Be better at dodging. That's the goal. I've also got to use openings to heal a little bit more, I think. Come on. Isn't even facing the right direction. I saw a ghost being thrown around by that one. Ow. The little arm comes up. Of course. It's a silly idea. Out of heal flasks now. We haven't even got him down to half health at the moment. I think that's the thing that concerns me. The problem is I don't even have, like... I have a couple of summons that might be a bit more maneuverable, but I don't have the ones that are, like, the guaranteed heavy hitters in this fight. And I would need to go around finding the upgrade materials for them, because I have some Grave Glovewort, but no Ghost Glovewort. And it would just mean accessing a bunch of other areas of the game. Like, I've done bits of Shifra River, but I haven't done Nokran, Nokstella, Ainsel River. I have a couple of the bell bearings, but you get most of those from Nokran, I think. What am I using the Naginata for? It was basically my melee support weapon. And right now the only thing it's doing is looking cool. But there were some situations in which I needed a melee weapon, and farming the Albinauric Bow was one of those situations. Okay, yeah, he follows through with that. Yeah, all the catacombs would be something I could do maybe between streams, but... yeah. Not super promising, this. I think in terms of what we could do, though, my character stats are pretty, like, pretty locked in. Like, if I farmed some levels, all I could really do would be, like, up my endurance, maybe. If we wanted to get to Nokran, I would have to fight Radagon. Which is not something I've done yet on this character. I think the most difficult part is knowing that I can read this boss fight. I'm just not nailing the execution. You know? Are there any types of arrows that do more damage? Not especially. DJ Fiber, thank you so much for the 6 months. Also, the dude 1469 cheered 250 bits earlier. Thank you very much for those. Yeah, like, these arrows deal 95 fire damage. The regular arrows deal 45 physical damage, which is okay, but, like, fire is something that this boss is specifically supposed to be weak against. Never considered that Radagon isn't mandatory. I fight him on most of my playthroughs just because I enjoy the fight, and a lot of the time I'm doing Rani's questline. Try Rain of Arrows more. First few times it did like 2600 damage. It did not do that much. Besides which, I can't really use it much during the fight, because he doesn't really leave you with many openings. Like, you can't do a whole bunch during this fight, because he's moving. Like, it does well against Godfrey, because he starts the fight slowly walking towards you. And there's a couple of points where he does a big attack and then just stands still for a while. But in this one, not so much. Can you run out of arrows? Yes. Arrows are consumable. You can also buy them. You don't have to craft them. There's not really a whole lot else I can do other than chug my mixed physic at the beginning of the fight, get one free hit from that, and also have a slight buff to the fire arrows. But it's like a buff that deals maybe 20 extra damage per arrow, which when your boss has this much health is pittance. And then it goes away within a couple of seconds. Because it's not doing that amount of damage anymore, is it? And yeah, the only other thing I can do is summon Latenna, who is the summon I've chosen to work with for this playthrough. And she'll do alright. When I'm not dying. But then she dies within a couple of attacks because she's stationary. She doesn't really dodge. She just sits there. So again, we could go for some other summons. I don't know if it's quite in the spirit of the playthrough, but I also need to level up those summons if that's the case. Which might be something that I have to do between streams. Honestly, if the only fight we actually get done this stream is Godfrey and Hoarah Loux, I'm still happy, because that's a heck of a fight. Flame Tear Physic has a 3-minute duration? Well, it seems like it doesn't. Because if I drink it now... I'm doing more or less the same amount of damage to him I was before. Unless it doesn't work with fire arrows. Ow. Maybe I do slightly more damage at the beginning of the fight because he doesn't have his guard fully up yet or something, but... Well, Latenna's already taken a bit of damage. The other thing is his attacks get harder to predict because sometimes he switches aggro. And other times he doesn't. That time I was too far away to be able to roll through it. Radagon can really parry anything. He parries a lot of stuff. I mean, I think it's mainly just blocking. I don't know if it's parry so much as block. After this, just removing bows from the list would be reasonable, though I know you're here for the challenge of it. Yeah, I mean, it feels silly to take them out, because there are a couple that have, like, unique abilities and whatnot. Like, I at least want to be able to see the difference between, like, a regular bow, a short bow, and a great bow. And if we get better with bows in general, then that's a good thing. Okay, this is good. Mainly because he's ignoring Latena in favor of me. So we're actually getting damage done now. Okay, now we're on to teleporty BS phase. Okay, I screwed up the, Okay, that one hit me. There we go. I think we could maybe Rain of Arrows after that one. I am occasionally rolling over the spurs that he leaves in the ground as well. Oh, I hate this one. Ow, okay. Didn't realize he had a follow-up in that one. Nice. Shout out Latena. Okay, now we switch to literally anything else. I don't know what's better, so we'll stick with fire, I guess. Latena cannot die under any circumstances, right? Well, she's gonna die now, but now we have Torrent. Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on our side. Okay, I don't know how Torrent does with this attack, so I'm still going to try and dodge it myself. There we go. Oh, no. Okay, not bad. Oh. Goofed up that one. Okay, now Torrent's going to come in handy because this is going to be much easier to dodge when you have a horse. Yeah! Ah! Oh no. I didn't know how to dodge that one on the horse. That's the problem. That's the problem with this fight, is that suddenly they throw the horse in and I don't have horse practice. We got halfway through Elden Beast, though. Again, that Radagon fight is a war of attrition, but we made it through. The trick is to get him in a straight line with Lieutenant on one side and me on the other, so every time he turns his back to one of us, he gets hit by the other one. We have the strats. Of course, that involves me not getting killed by Radagon in the meantime. Distracting his targeting like that is so fun. Okay, now I'm just playing sloppy because I know we can do this, which is... yeah, not the best approach. So I'm just going to let him kill me and we can take this again. But again, we're already looking way better than we were. Just finding the right, like, angle of approach. Yeah, you don't have to fight Radagon again. Except you do. It would be a little too easy if we just got to do Elden Beast again. So yeah, I think we maybe will need to go and get some arrows, but... okay, now he doesn't even know where he's going. That was a bad roll. Shouldn't have gone for the second one. Too greedy. It's so funny watching him try to block when the arrows aren't coming from the front. Bad rolls. This isn't the one, but it's good practice. And Latenna has done really well at surviving this time. Like I said, not the one, but good practice. The thing is now, I can still go for it, but I also want to conserve ammunition for an attempt that's actually got more likelihood of success. Is Rain of Arrows still going to hit it up there? No, not really. And I also completely botched the dodges. I don't have a heal left, so this is it, but... not a bad attempt, all things considered. Also, the range on this is so limited, and I genuinely can't gauge the scale of the arena from here, so... kind of difficult to see when it's going to land and when it's not, you know? Cool how passive it is at this distance, though. Yeah, that's too far away now. Gonna get hit by one of these in a moment, and that'll be it. Torrent is tanking for me like an absolute legend. But no, sooner or later one of them is gonna hit me. You find Dark Souls to be directionless, you worry Elden Ring is the same. The game doesn't really give you direction, it's really about finding a path through it yourself, but the game will funnel you into certain places, so that's something to look out for, I guess. Yeah, the other thing I'm concerned about now is, like, Rain of Arrows is obviously shredding, which is great, but when I run out of FP, all I have left at that point is ordinary attacks, right? Yeah, okay, Radagon is getting too many hits on Latenna, unfortunately. Yeah, this run's doomed, so I'm just going to get killed. which is, for some reason, really hard when it's actually meant to happen. But yeah, without Latenna surviving into the later stages of this phase, we are not going to get through it. And unfortunately, I can't give her the same shield that my mixed physic gives me, but I think that's a perfumer thing. Don't look at her, look at me. Goof the second one, but not bad. It's amazing how much damage we're doing with Latenna now, considering we could barely get this fight started with her before. Ow. Got to prevent him from parrying Latenna's stuff. Okay, that one hit me for some reason. I thought I dodged at the right time, but... Gonna get this flask in, try and do a little bit more damage. Dang it. Okay. Once again, good practice. I have maybe an hour left. Probably more like 45 minutes, if I'm honest. I think we maybe could get there in that time. But if we don't, I'm not going to sweat it, because we can come back on Tuesday and do more of this. Blocked all of them like a Chad. Oh man. Jump shot went wide. Cannot afford to let Latenna take this much punishment this early. It's all in the timing. No, look at me. Look at me. I think the main advantage here is range. Yeah, knock my head off. Clean off. But then, like, if Latenna's on one side of the arena and he's on the other, he can't target her. This is, like, technical under the hood kind of examination of this, but, like, she's hitting him from super far away, but once I get a certain distance away and he's closed in on me, she can't take aggro. And so she's safe up until that point. So I've got to stay aggressive, lure him out here. And make sure that this doesn't happen. Yeah, that's not going to work out for us, unfortunately. What have I thought of the DLC so far? It's been very, very cool. It's so colorful. I think that's the thing I love the most about it, is that, like, these games, I don't know if it happens as much in, like, original Dark Souls, because that was still made a while ago. I don't know much about Demon's Souls either, but, like, these games have come from the current era of gaming where we've moved on so much in terms of what they can do with color, from like the Gears of War, Borderlands 1 kind of color palette of everything being gray and brown and dull, even if the world is supposed to be in a really rough spot. Like, the Lands Between is not meant to be a nice place, but it's such a colorful place. And the areas of the DLC are, like, no exception to that. Even though they're not technically in the Lands Between, it's Land of Shadow, but it's like... Yeah, okay. Easy dub for Radagon. Hey, what's up, Ollie? Yeah, we are on the grind. This is a whole deal. We have about 300 arrows left, at least fire arrows. And we have a good strat for Radagon. I haven't been able to make it through Elden Beast yet, but we got Elden Beast to about halfway dead. I don't know what the best arrows are for Elden Beast, because it's resistant to effects and stuff, but we will see. We will see. I just need to actually land an arrow to start with. Dang it. Okay, Latenna's dead once again. This one's not going the distance. Ollie, you enjoying the DLC? I don't know how far you've got, and you don't know how far I've got, so let's skirt around talking about anything specific and simply talk in code. I did watch up until you opened the door of the first big place you went to, and I realized that that was not the first big place I went to, and I did not want to skip ahead to see if you ended up where I ended up. You're still in the starting biome, covering it in a lot of depth? Yeah, that's what I did, except I didn't go left through the big archway. I went over the bridge instead. I did a couple of other bits and pieces, and I have fought a boss that looked like Yoda, but that's about as much as I can say. Yeah, I figured fire would be okay for Elden Beast because, you know, it's just fire. Okay, yes, that's it. Follow me. Good. Okay, we've got good range now. The trick to this fight is to have Latenna over there and have Radagon over here. That's all there is to it. Dang it, I rolled into the AoE. And for some reason, I'm absolutely terrible at dodging these now. It is great watching him take damage like that, though. Deserve that. Yes, Lieutenant. Do it to him, Lieutenant. Okay, yeah, I should be a little bit less concerned with that. And now he's like, oh, she's over there. She's been over there the whole time. Yeah, it is too bad you can't just push Radagon off the edge. Hate that your YouTube feed is now a spoiler minefield. I've been avoiding so much of Twitch. Like, I would casually go to Twitch and look up people playing Elden Ring just to see, like, how far along they were, what the build was. It's, like, 50% people fighting Melania. It's 45% people speedrunning or doing, like, challenge runs. And lately it was a few people getting back into it from hearing about the DLC and thinking, I need a new character for the DLC. Yes, my pretty, come this way. Continue to take damage. Okay, that one, I just didn't figure out what the pattern was, and now I'm just getting grabbed in one shot. I died. But I think we have the strat still. It's just about the execution while damage happens in the background. I am slightly concerned about my arrow totals. And I'm wondering if... I reckon just crushing these runes is probably enough to top up on fire arrows most of the way. So if we go to our man in Caelid, who I think is the guy by Aeonia Swamp. We'll see. Is Mimic Tear allowed? I don't have Mimic Tear. Again, I have not done Knock-Run.
How nice.
There we go. 177. Alright. That'll last us a little while. That'll at least last us until the end of the stream, probably. Don't know if Mimic Tear with a bow would be any good at all. It has an opportunity to use the Naginata as well, because I do still have that equipped. But, even you could equip Mimic Tear with anything, really. Like, it could be a spellcaster if I had all of the stuff for it, but I don't. The main thing, though, is I think Latenna works. She's not evasive in the slightest, but I think for the strategy we've developed here, she's doing okay. And no, I don't have Black Knife Tish either. I would need to have done Knock-Run to get Black Knife Tish, because you need to have completed Rani's quest. Just look at the damage we put on him already, though. Arrow in the butt for you. Need to heal after that one. What have you got for us? All right, yep. Nice. Doing well. Okay, jinxed myself a bit there. Okay, cool. We have a few flasks left ready for Elden Beast. I'm going to take Cerulean first because we need to get Rain of Arrows in. Nice. Dang it. No. No. Okay, cool. Oh, hello. You're right here. Got to be really specific about when I use Rain of Arrows, I think. Like now, for example. That's pretty good. Oh, it's that one. I forgot about that one. Oops. Need to keep my health up where I can. It's gonna move in a second. Nice, okay. Decent dodge. Yay, torrents! Oh, I'm at the wall. I've hit the wall. No! Oh, okay. Just barely. Paper cut away from death that time. Oh, dang it. Okay, that's my last heal. Gotta make sure we get the damage in and do it at a reasonable time. Let's try Torrent for this attack. Yeah, a little easier. Now this one is going to be heavily dependent on what Elden Beast does now, which is kill me. Alright, I think that's the closest we're going to get, chat. But we are closing in. We are closing in. I think this one deserves a rune arc. Obviously, this is going to go badly now I've done this, but... I think if we get down to 0 heals, we can't afford to do any slow animations like Rain of Arrows. It's got to be chip damage from that point on. I think I'm pushing my luck slightly by doing that. Come out here, buddy. Oh, this is the problem with the rune arc, actually, is that if he kills Latenna, I just basically have to end the run there. So maybe I should put the rune arc on my my carousel and actually use it, or on the pouch or something. Use it once we hit Elden Beast. Because it's much more likely that we're going to lose it on Radagon than it is Elden Beast, I think, at this range. Okay. We've got another couple of attempts. Got time for another couple of attempts. Yes, that's it. Follow me. Good. Latenna on full health. That's what we like. Scuffed that one. And lost. Yeah, I'm not going to quit out and back in. That seems like it's just going to waste time. Especially if it's for a rune arc, like... We've already proven that we can do the fight without it. Okay, you just can't let this move hit you. Especially when Latenna is at stake. Yeah, we'll see. It's all about getting a good start here. Once we've got him on the other end of the arena, that's when the fun begins. No, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Thank you. Okay, now we're in business. Unfortunately, I'm terrible at dodging again. That one just caught me. This one I have to dodge perfectly. And I didn't. I hit it right as he hit, but that was apparently just the wrong timing. I think, honestly, if we don't do this in the next couple of minutes, we can come back on Tuesday and do this within the first hour. Because I'll be out of practice by that point, but we'll know the strats. Yeah. Yeah, 15 more minutes and I think we're going to have to call it. Why are you still on Latenna? I'm right here. I kind of don't want this attempt to continue because I'm so low on health already, but if we do continue, it's not a bad setup, it's just flasks are coming at a premium now. Oh. I think that one is... it's a counter. Like, it's different to him just choosing to do that move. Like, it happens faster, so it's a counter. We know it now, though. We know this fight. He did find me. Nice. No, look this way. Look this way. Ah. I thought I was far enough away from that one. I wasn't. And now Lieutenant's dead again. We'll see. We'll see how we do. Mauler and Brucey Main, thank you for the Prime subs earlier. I feel like I'm so late getting to these, but I'm just locked in. Yeah, we need a taunt is what we need. Okay, this is promising. Yep, especially if he's coming over this way. Damaging me the whole way, but... And now I'm just forgetting how to do the fight. I'm so concentrated on getting him over here that I'm like forgetting how to dodge half of the moves. Yeah, arrows-wise, we're still fine, though. If only this was like Celeste, and you got to restart like so quickly after a death. That's right, look at me. Okay, I think he's on me now. Well, he was for a minute there. I think this one's doomed as well. I need to get my head back in this fight, so... There's a follow-up to that one? I don't recall having seen that before. Wow. Hey, what's up, Blanky Mind Bill? Welcome in. Welcome to a very difficult boss fight being done in a very difficult way. But we will prevail. Perhaps not today. I think we'll give it 1 or 2 more attempts, depending how far we get. But it's 4:30 here, and I need to be ready for D&D at 5, so we'll be wrapping up in a sec. Okay, well, we scuffed that one a little bit, but... we're doing the important thing, which is getting him away from Latenna. Alright, we got time for one more and then that's it. Oh. But we got that close to beating Elden Beast that I think this is the only strat we need at this point. I think this is gonna bring it home for us, just maybe not today. That was nowhere near my worst run. Why does it feel like we're nearer the center of the arena than we were? Don't you dare kill Latenna. He's killed Latenna. Alright, one more. Just because that one ended quickly. I'm giving myself enough time for one more full run. But that's it. That one didn't even feel like it got started, so we deserve one more. That's right, come over here. Come over here. If he... Latenna hasn't even shot him in the last, like, 40 seconds. Ow. That time I was ready for it. Ow. He's waiting for me to heal every time, which is so annoying. Okay, got caught by the follow-up that time. Oh, Latena's gonna finish him, look. See? No Elden Beast for me. Not this time. But we didn't have enough heals to really make it through Elden Beast anyway, so... That'll be the last attempt of the stream, folks. Not to end it on a dour note, but hey, we did get through Hoarah Loux and Godfrey, and now we have a decent strat that's going to carry us through this fight for the final stream. I don't know if I'll be able to level up at all. I don't think I'd really need to level up at all in between now and Tuesday, but we'll see how we do, and we might work in a couple of backup strategies just in case. But I think, honestly, we've got the strategy that's going to win it for us. It's just a matter of execution. But this is my first proper, like, bow-only playthrough, so that's basically, you know, a strat we can bring into future ones. So we're not going to raid anybody because I am about to go live on a different channel. If you're going to stick around on Twitch, hop over to 8-Bit Community to watch me and my group playing Dungeons & Dragons. I need to do a little bit of setup for that, so it's a good thing we're ending when we are. And then, yeah, once we come back on Tuesday for another Minecraft stream, we might be able to play a little bit of Elden Ring later. So yeah, head over to 8-Bit Community, hang out in the chat, lurk, and I won't be able to like say hi to everybody once I'm in there. So hi to everybody who stuck around and you know, comes over to watch the D&D stream. We're towards the end of Princes of the Apocalypse, which is the big pre-written campaign that we've been working on the last 2 years, I want to say. So that'll be fun. I need to go and refresh my drinks and stuff as well. But for now, have yourselves a great one. If you're headed off, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow. Or later today. Not tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow if you're in the spawn chunks. And I'll see you on Tuesday. My brain's getting addled. I need to leave. Bye!